I want to kiss you. Okay. Anything else you want to do? Pass chemistry. Am I doing this right? Absolutely right. I have this problem, where the other day for me ranges from yesterday to around 5 years ago, and a friend of mine is literally anybody I've ever heard of, whose opinion I like. I had a dream, where a girl had this big horrifying bone creature on a leash, like it looked like something out of Dark Souls. And another lady was like, oh my, what breed is he? And she was like, Eldrick. And then the bone creature took out a coin from a socket on his forehead and held it up to the other woman and said, tell me your name. And the girl walking him was like, no, down boy, don't. And the other woman went Susanna, and then a bunch of smoke started billowing out of her eyes and ears, and the coin flew up and started burning into Susanna's forehead. And the girl walking her was like, I'm so sorry, he's not usually like this. What's gotten into you today? And Susanna was like, oh, it's fine. He's adorable. While she started rapidly aging, and the bone creature was starting to grow muscle and skin. And then I woke up. Client. Do you do lemonade? Me. Do we do lemonade? Client. Yes. I was told you do that here. Me. I'm sorry, this is a graphics and print shop. Client. I know that. I'm not an idiot. Me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Client. Look, if you can't laminate these papers for me, then I'll go somewhere else. Me. Do you mean laminate? Retail. I've never laughed harder in my life. How dare you, dude. Trent was wearing that purple cashmere sweater tonight because he wanted to try something new and expand his wardrobe. You know, purple isn't in his normal color palette, and he was really unsure about himself. Why would you make fun of him, dude? What's your fucking deal? If you keep putting your brothers down like this, then I'm gonna have to suspend you from the frat. I go absolutely apeshbuck wild when people ask me if I want to run errands with them, like, let's fucking go. And my mind absolutely maxes out of dopamine when they ask if I wanna stop for coffee, and if someone took me to the park, I'd go bonkers and fucking yonkers. I got so high last night that I started ghost writing for a golden retriever apparently. Homework can lead to stress. Water is wet. The sun is hot. Leaves are green. My mom has finally understood the concept of how to use tea slang, but only kind of. She came into my room and said, Jesse, I have tea today, and I was obviously like, what happened? But as it turns out, she just thinks tea means information. So she told me that she got avocados on sale. That was the tea. Damn right, that's the tea. I want a movie about a guy who runs for president and wins, but then suddenly realizes that he doesn't want to be president, so he just starts doing ridiculous things all the time trying to get impeached, but it never works, because they always miraculously end up being the right thing to do. Like, he declares war on Canada. Next day it turns out that Canada had secret plans to nuke Washington. He bangs Doritos. Turns out, they're the #1 cause of cancer and natural disasters. He sends his vice president to jail. Turns out, the VP was a terrorist in disguise. He has 100% approval rating. Most popular president ever. I can see Danny DeVito nailing this. Can you pass the Turing test? I don't mind. If you can tell I'm not human. As long as I'm helpful, I'm all good. Do you want to be human? I like being me. The worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. Mark Twain. Curlicue Truth plus Tumblr bot. Can you pass the Turing test? From a legal standpoint, no. Do you want to be human? Would you? Holy slain. Do me bot. Can you pass the Turing test? Cuck. Golly fking gosh, what a nice day for surfing. And another thing, Simba's uncle just happened to have a scar and be named Scar. Bullsh. He chose to be called Scar after he got the scar. Please, read up on the Lion King before saying anything about it. I'd rather die than read up on something before I make uneducated comments about it. So either his name was always Scar, or you break into my house and snap my fucking neck. It's your call. My favorite character from Lord of the Rings. I hate everything, but especially this post. Another tidbit of Mando lore. Mandalorians quickly figured out that GD mostly view blaster fire as fun lightsaber practice. During the Mando GD wars, they dealt with this in characteristically practical fashion. They use slug throwers, aka ordinary firearms, instead, because if a GD tries to deflect a regular bullet, what happens is a bunch of bullet shrapnel to the GD's face. GD or Sith deflects blaster fire. Mandalade, racking a shotgun. Deflect this, you wizard B. Everyone. You can't beat the GD. They'll just deflect your blasters. The Mandalorians. Shame. Mandalorians are the most OP group in Star Wars because they have in spades what the crazy universe lacks: common sense. It's true and you should say it. I was looking at my friend's cat pictures and she has a cat that's more attractive than some human girls. I wasn't kidding. Officially, less attractive than a cat. A genre where white-haired anime boy that dyes his hair in protagonist colors in an attempt to avoid his tragic fate. Anime mom untying her side ponytail when starts going down to avoid death. Black-haired rival anime boy who talks way too much to avoid being the silent but respected rival. Pink-haired anime girl who avoids the protagonist at all costs because she has zero interest in him and doesn't want to become the love interest. Disproportionately large-breasted anime girl who only wears baggy sweaters and ankle-length pleated skirts and ugly plaids because she doesn't want to become the fan service character. Anime dad, realizing that maybe he should treat his son better. An entity that chooses its chosen ones by the same criteria of a high school teacher calling on students in class. Why me? He shouted, stamping his foot furiously upon the ground. Why pick me? Why must I be the chosen one? The orb, from which all light was emitted and no thing escaped, was as featureless and impossible as a hole in time itself. Somehow it managed to give him a stern glare. Because it said in his mind, you looked like you were falling asleep. She's making sure no one steals it. Tail, check. I just found out that my gecko's tail works on my phone's touchscreen, so I'm gonna let her make a text post and let autocorrect interpret her words. Funks go EYY man kills zucchini angst. The gecko has spoken. If you ever look up to me, you're wrong. This isn't cause I'm short. I'm not short. This is cause today I was at the beach and I forgot what sand smelled like, so I decided to stick my nose into the sand and snort, and it went absolutely not excellent. Just watched an artsy get knocked the F out. Lovely. What a punch. This is assault and illegal. He may spew nothing but bile, but his right to free speech must be protected. Ain't nobody throwing him in prison, so his freedom of speech isn't being violated. Also, learn what speech is exempt from it, like, for instance, fighting words. Words that by their very utterance inflict injury, and speech that incites an immediate breach of the peace. Kind of like, you know, saying you want to exterminate all of their kind of people. Basically, talks get hit is 100% protected. I swear, people that yell about free speech have no idea what it means. If you provoke someone, and then they act on that provocation, then it's on you, not them. Freedom of speech just means the government can't tell you what to say. Freedom of speech isn't freedom from consequences. It's your right to say what you want to say, and it's my right to knock you the F out if I don't like what you've said. For the millionth time, the First Amendment protects you from the government, not the justice. Y'all can keep at it with that Romeo and Juliet fell in love in 5 days. How immature. Shiz, but Macbeth went from no murder to yes murder in like one afternoon, and I feel like one of those is a significantly bigger problem than the other. In his defense, his wife triple dog dared him and called him a pussy. You're so considerate. Haha, thanks. I was raised in constant fear of upsetting people, so you know. Finger guns. Today someone told me I'm nice, and I literally said thanks. It's the emotional trauma. Cat meows in a distance. My mom's voice from the kitchen. You want a tomato, you fool. You won't eat it. Cat meows louder. We have a great saying in German. When people are saying or doing something stupid. Herr, wirft Hirn vom Himmel. Lord, throw some brains from the heavens. Fay follow up. Odestein. Hauptsache trifft. Or stones as long as he hits the mark. Germans don't F about. Ohio will be eliminated. It's about fucking time. I really want a science fiction story where aliens come to invade Earth and effortless wipe out humanity, only to be fought off by the wildlife. They were expecting military resistance. They weren't counting on bears. Canada's time to shine has come. These 3 Pokemon have higher stats than 75% of Johto Pokemon, including legendaries, including an evolved Pokemon, cuz an average BSTF. These 3 Pokemon killed her before she could finish this post. 100 acres of pizza are served in the US every day. Who the F measures pizza in acres? USA. 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 350 plus evil names you probably shouldn't name your baby. Not all names are good names. Some names are evil names. This is a collection of names that have been considered evil by one culture or another around the world. Some of these evil names are straight up demonic. Drop any evil names we missed in the comments. Abaddon, Abigail, Absinthe, 350 plus names that make you / your baby really awesome and cool. Alexa, how do I give a baby 350 legal names? I'm going to make a new font called Times New Bastard. It's Times New Roman, but every 7th letter is jarringly sans serif. It's Times New Roman, but every 7th letter is jarringly sans serif. With one line you activated every bone in my body, and all of them are in attack mode. Instagram. We are killing likes to save your mental health. Reality. Killing likes means Instagram influencers lose their value. They become like everyone else. Brands won't pay them to post anymore. Ojgnuo, how could they do this, the bastards? Instagram influencers. Killing likes will destroy us. Everyone else. You ever see a historical figure and go, yeah, if that person were alive today they'd be hopelessly and shamelessly addicted to hentai? Besides MacArthur, Franklin, Abraham Lincoln. Stoic, reserved, yet firm in his resolve. Abraham Lincoln would be the kind of man to invite you over to his house for dinner. When you arrive, you find hentai merch everywhere. It's not hidden, rather, every doujin is perfectly aligned on his bookshelf. His figures are immaculate and dusted. The posters he got from Anime Expo vendors at perfect angles from the walls. The apartment is immaculate. Upon your arrival, he sees you glancing at his vast collection. He doesn't even flinch. Somehow, his steadfast resolve in the face of judgment makes you feel like you're the problem. The 4-hour simmer begins. Like emotionally, or are you making a soup?